If you could relive any day of your life, what day would you choose? What would you do differently?
Oh, damn. That is a deep question. Oh, damn. So I mean, that gets into like, that's like either what was your favorite day or what day would you change?
Yeah,
That's hard.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. It's very hard. I mean,
if I could relive any day.
I I feel like for me, I'll if you're gonna
Yeah, I'm having a hard time
if
with
you're gonna
this.
simmer on this, I think for me, I can kind of reach into the uh, shallow pool of recent great days,
Mhm.
and yeah, recent pool of great days, and say like one of the first 2 days of the Aruba trip,
Yeah.
and that would be awesome. Yeah, maybe even like November 12th, 2024.
Okay.
Like that was a great day, the whole day. I'd relive it. I'd love to relive it. What would I change? What I would change would be maybe sharing it with my friends
Mhm.
and more of my family, and just because I loved Aruba. It was awesome. It was great. So I would love to share that with more people.
Mhm.
But getting to share it with my kids and Jen was the freaking coolest. So yeah. So in that regard, that
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
um, and like in terms of not regret per se, uh, probably probably the day that I left LTOB,
Okay.
and I would have conducted myself differently. Um, but I think that's more of a hindsight 2020, right?
Sure. Well, that works though. That counts.
So if I was given the benefit of hindsight,
Yeah.
yeah, I'd probably do that. And what would I do differently is, instead of just getting the text, hey, we're not going to be getting together for a while, and reacting to it
Mhm.
because I was feeling trapped, reacting and going, okay, I know we can't get together X day, but I really need to talk to everyone. So let me know what works for you guys.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I see that. That makes sense. I'm gonna steal your idea on the first one because I have 2 days that stand out for me as kind of like some of my favorite days.
Hmm.
Right. One of them is I don't remember what day it was in the trip that I was on, but Annie and I went to Hawaii, and we had one day where, and I might even be mixing days, but I feel like we had one day where we got up and we had breakfast on the little terrace of the little Airbnb like not apartment, hotel room
Hmm.
basically that we were in. We had like fruit and stuff, and we sat there and we were looking out, and it was like the first day that we were there for real, and it was like I sat there and I felt how warm it was, and I saw how relaxed she was, and I looked and I saw the ocean, and we had
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
fruit in front of us, and we did that, and then we went to the beach and we went snorkeling, and the water was super clear, and every time I went underwater I saw these colorful fish that were like right there,
Yeah.
and then I would come out of the water and I didn't see any of them.
Yeah.
And so that realization of like, I don't see what's under the water unless I'm under the water.
Yeah.
That little terrifying feel, but also like every time I go under here, I'm in this amazing new beautiful world
Yeah.
that I'm in. And getting to do that and spend some time on the beach, and then like getting Hawaiian ice, which is shaved ice with an ice cream core, which is incredible.
Yeah.
Like it was like all of these things happened in this one day, and it was just so much fun, and it was so relaxed, and we didn't have to be anywhere, and we didn't have to
Yeah.
do anything.
Yeah. That's
And even more than like me enjoying it, seeing how relaxed and carefree she
yep.
was just one of the coolest. Like I just loved every moment of that day. And I would relive that, and I would change nothing about it. And then another day that I had that sticks out in my mind as just something that I never want to forget the feeling of is when my band played Westbury Music Fair and we opened for Queensryche. And there were so many things that kind of like had to line up for that day to work, but we went there and we set up in front of them, and Queensryche's drummer offered our drummer to use his kit, and he was like, thank you, no. There's no way I'm doing that. We figured out how to be on the moving stage.
The round.
The sound man came up and said, "Do you have a track for the middle of your song Tonight We Die For, or are you going to go through a megaphone or something?" And that let me know that the person running the sound actually listened to our music.
Heard your music.
And planned on something happening that he would have to do sonically to help us have a better show. That blew my mind. And I was like, oh, we don't do anything there because we have a live version of that song without that in it, right? And he was like, oh, I had all this stuff ready. And we were like, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Tommy could have done it.
Yeah. We played the show to a packed house. There were over 2,000 people there. We walked back up the walkway to go backstage, and all the members of Queensryche were standing there in the audience watching us, waiting for us to come up to like good game us. And Jeff Tate, the singer of Queensryche, pulled me aside and was like, "You gonna leave anything out there for us?" And I was like, "Shut your face." And told me I was a good singer, which blew my mind. I didn't get to see any part of their show because we went out to our merch table, and our merch was mobbed from literally the beginning of their set until the entire night was over. We had lines. We signed more things than I've ever signed in my life. We sold more things than I've ever sold in my life. And then my good friend Jenny is the biggest Queensryche fan of all time. And my favorite part of the day after all that was that I surprised her and got her into the meet and greet afterwards so that she could meet Queensryche, because she supported us forever. And so I was able to I was only able to get her. I was like, I busted my ass. That was trying to do that for weeks.
Yeah, I was moving
beforehand. It was
moving
like,
the earth.
It was like, okay, I know you have a meet and greet. I know we don't. We can't get people into it. We can't do this. We can't do that. We can be there. One person. Can I get one person? Is there any way I can get one person? And I was able to get her in for that. My parents came here to see that show. It was the first time I ever really in my like heart and my brain believed for like a second, like, oh man, we like, maybe we can do this. Like, we might have a shot at this. And that was like, music wise, one of the greatest days I've ever had, beginning to end. It was a lot of work. It was a lot of effort. It was nonstop, but it was like, just, I've never had so many victories line up.
Yeah.
And it was really cool. So I wouldn't do anything about that day different either, other than I would have had something for Tonight We Die For in that little section. I would have figured that out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's those are the 2 days that I would relive, and I would relive them forever.